Hi everybody, Tim here again, another video blog after Toronto FC's 5th game of the season, a win 2-0 yesterday afternoon against the Seattle Sounders. Pretty pleased with the response that TFC showed again at home. They beat a pretty good Seattle team 2-0 on 2 second-half goals from Dwayne De Rosario, who's got 5 for the season right now, and of course O'Brien White, who scored a nice goal as well late in the game to salt it away. The scoreline was a little deceiving, I think. I think Seattle definitely had some moments. They had some very strong possession in the first half especially. I think TFC was a significantly different team in the second, when especially when Gargan came on and we went with a 4-5-1 after going with a 4-3-3. Freddie Lundberg, as an Arsenal fan, it's always nice to see Freddie play, even though he's kind of dead to me now that he plays against TFC. He was quite good yesterday. Resting Zakuani and Montero, their attacking mid and striker respectively, from the game that they played in Dallas on Thursday, and not having them come on until the second half in Toronto, I think obviously was a mistake on Siggy Schmidt's part. I think maybe he took Toronto maybe a little too lightly versus the Dallas team they got a 2-2 draw with on Thursday. 2 players for TFC really stood out. Stephen Fry made 3 amazing saves. I question his distribution at times, but he's an amazing shot stopper. I really think that he's going to be going to Europe in the not too distant future, especially because he's got an EU passport and doesn't count as an import over there. De Guzman, Julian De Guzman, I just said Jonathan almost, maybe later, but not now, but Julian De Guzman was by far the best I've ever seen him play in a TFC uniform. He was marked and man-marked the entire game, and at times I saw 2 or 3 Seattle players sort of hovering around him. His ball control, his possession, and his intelligence on the ball was just fabulous yesterday. He linked up well with Dero and did a really good job in moving the ball around. He also, of course, helped out our center backs by sort of parking out in front and playing the defensive midfielder role. Whether you want to spend $2 million on a defensive midfielder is maybe a question for another post on the blog, but overall I thought he was fabulous. Martin Saric, however, was kind of unlucky not to get red carded, I believe. I think Preki probably told him, okay, listen, your job is to be the hard man. Your job is to maybe stick in a little bit and put the boots to Freddie Lundberg, Seattle's designated player and star. In the 6th or 7th minute, I think it was, Sarge did exactly that, and frankly, I think he was lucky and the team was lucky that there was some poor MLS officiating once again that led to him not getting red carded. It was a brutal, well, not brutal, but a clumsy tackle, I think is probably a better way to say it. I think Canadian fans want to have some players on their team with a little bit of grit and a bit of edge. I think that's half the reason why Danny Dichio is as big a hero as he is. Not just because of the goals, but because he played the game in the, to use a hockey analogy, the Canadian way. Sarich, I think, is going to be that kind of guy as well, but he needs to be a little more circumspect with those 2-foot challenges of his. This win really sets up the Montreal game pretty nicely now, doesn't it? We've got Wednesday, 8 p.m. We've got the Montreal Impact in the first game over a 6-week stretch of the CONCACAF Canadian Championships, and for the Voyageurs Cup. And I think now Montreal, I think, drew on the weekend in their opening of the season. They've had a pretty decent off-season, a good trip over to Europe, if I'm not mistaken, and really hard to sort of get a grip on them as a team, because I frankly haven't seen very much of them over the last few months. And there's other people out there like Dwayne Rollins, for example, on the 24th minute, who's going to give you a much better assessment of who the Impact are. As far as TFC, with the work in progress, I really hope, I should say, that Preki takes this game seriously and starts a strong side.